Welcome to the Wizards of Ecom, your no-fluff playbook for online success. Each episode is fully packed with actionable tactics you can implement in your business right now. Take your life to a higher level and excel in your online success. It's time to work on you and your business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the Wizards of Ecom. My name is Carlos Alvarez, and I'll be your host for the show. On today's episode, we have one of my favorite bloggers, co-creator of the 21-Day Blog Challenge, co-founder of Amazon IP Alert and Tactical Expander, and self-described digital marketing junkie who teaches everything he knows on his EntreResource Blog, Nate McAllister. Welcome to the show, Nate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. Glad we could finally get this scheduled.
Yeah, right. You know, writing out this, you do a lot. Like, you do a lot of stuff, or have over the years, and now it just seems like you do a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell people all the time to kind of don't try to emulate my path necessarily if your goal is straight profit, especially early on when you're trying to pay the bills, because I do the work that keeps me engaged and excited, and for me that involves doing a lot of different things, testing other things. And one of the benefits that I have that other people don't, which is another reason it's terrible to try to emulate my process, is that I write about the process. So it actually, if I do something and it blows up in my face, that just makes a great blog post headline. So that's one of the benefits of being an experimenter, being a blogger. You get to test out all the fun stuff.
You know, speaking that what you just said, I was listening to, I think it's called the Founders Podcast. It's like the guys from Morning Brew. They have this podcast, and there was an episode, and it had to do with working or creating in public. I don't know if you've heard of that. So it sort of sounds like what you just said, like even your failures, you're putting out there.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a huge aspect of content creating that people overlook. And I definitely did it when I first started out. I was under this, misconception that you have to be the expert at everything. And if you don't talk about these successes, why would anybody believe you? And why would anybody follow you? And then I started to realize the people that I follow, I want them to do well. And I'm excited to read their content, watch their content about their successes. But it can be just as valuable to see people doing things and telling you if they worked or didn't work, why they didn't work. And just being honest and keeping it, 100% real with everybody is so much more valuable than pretending like you have all the answers. Especially early on, there's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect that I definitely experienced. I might still be earlier on in that than I'm aware of. If you haven't heard of it, Google the Dunning-Kruger effect. And basically what it is when you start out, you think you know a lot more than you really know. And then as you start to actually learn everything, you start to realize, like, wow, I didn't know very much, or I was wrong, or I was overly confident. So that's definitely something that fortunately I kind of learned about early on. And I was like, all right, I can focus. I can still get traffic and get readers by talking about the things that don't work, or the things that just, I tried and they were okay, but not headlines like how to make $500,000 a year taking surveys or whatever, stuff like that. You don't always need the clickbait to create great content, especially if you do it consistently.
I mean, speaking of like Dunning-Kruger effect and learning new things and all of that, in addition to everything else that I just mentioned in this intro of describing like who you are and letting listeners know like the different areas you're an expert in, you also recently wrote a book that's not released yet. Should be released at the end of the month. We're recording this in early July. So end of July. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So end of July, called Evergreen Affiliate Marketing. So today's topic, I'm going to lean on you and have you come back on the show for another topic that I want to unpack with you, which is, blogging and how to really leverage that in a person's Amazon business for increased sales. Today, though, I want to talk about affiliate marketing, something that let's lay the groundwork, because I'm not an affiliate marketing expert, right? So I think I can pay all my bills off of just tools that I've used in the past. And I really believed in them. I'm using them. I'm getting great results from them. So I'm the type of person that if you're standing in front of me at Starbucks, I'm probably going to talk about them, and I talk about it in a convincing way. And next thing you know, these things start adding up. So for me, that's been my experience with affiliate marketing. But I know people that it's sort of like their strong suit is advertising and making money running ads for their affiliate stuff. So for you, what do you think of all that? And what is affiliate marketing to you?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different types of affiliate marketing, affiliate marketers. Most of the massively successful people that are, the 7-8 figure affiliate marketers, you wouldn't think of them as affiliate marketers. People like YouTubers who review toys, people who have massive followings in the fitness space, and every once in a while they'll plug the whey protein that they use. They'll show TikTok videos of them using it, and they make sales. A lot of people started content first, talking about oftentimes a topic of passion, and the next thing they knew, they're like, oh man, I didn't realize how I built what was the base of an affiliate marketing, hub. Once you've accidentally built all that trust and that huge following, that really is something I talk about in the book, is that there are ways everybody can be a better affiliate marketer. There's so many different tactics and things that you can do, but there's no hiding the fact that having a large audience makes it easier. And not only having a large audience, but having the right audience. Like people like you have a B2B audience, which is always helpful because B2B just is always going to require tools, especially in the 21st century where there's just a tool for everything that is often better than what we could do ourselves. And it's very relevant and it's very helpful. It's very easy for B2B affiliate marketing because we can say, this will help you make money or save time. Here's that process. Here's me literally doing it. If you want to buy it, it's a pretty easy sell. Other fields are a little bit more difficult, require a little bit more creativity, but that's something I do talk about in the book, is people like yourself who make affiliate commissions, but they don't identify as affiliate marketers. And I think that's awesome. I don't think that anybody needs to look at affiliate marketing like, I am an affiliate marketer, or this needs to be my one thing. It can be your one thing, but it could also just be an awesome, organic, natural supplemental income that comes as a byproduct of the goodwill and audience you're already creating. So like you have your paid members, people that trust you enough to spend money every month. Absolutely 100% would trust you for anything you promote. I trust you for things you promote. And there's a lot of people like that to be ethical affiliate marketers. That's a big thing that I push in the book, is that there's a lot of ways to make money with affiliate marketing. It gets a really bad reputation. And I don't want to be that guy who's on here throwing, everybody else's a scam, but it is one of those things where you can do it in a really slimy way. But it doesn't have to be that way. And the beauty, I think, is that the more ethical you are, the more goodwill you create, the more consistency and transparency you have, the better your sales over time eventually are. So that's something I cover pretty intensely in the book. And I think affiliate marketing I think everybody should look at it as, it's not just for these affiliate marketers. I can make affiliate commissions as an average person. Even if I have a business that's totally doesn't seem like it would be a fit for it. There's a fit for it in most businesses.
I have like a million questions just out of that. And that was just like the opening conversation to this. How about this? For somebody listening to this, is there money to be made in it? Because somebody listening to this, they want to make money. Like what is realistic if somebody's starting with a I'm not going to say very small audience. That's probably super relative, but they don't have an audience, but they're willing to build one. They're willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears into building one. Right. What's a realistic expectation 6 months out that you're making per month?
Like you said, it's relative, and it depends on what audience you're in. Like we said, B2B is easier because there's people are usually entrepreneurs or business owners, and they are willing and able to buy stuff. It's a tax write-off. It makes money. It saves from hiring unnecessary work, stuff like that. Realistically, it depends on what sort of traffic you're going with. I tell people that right now the fastest way is probably through channels like video-based channels. You can just get traffic very quickly with video. One YouTube video that could go viral could end up making income. Realistically, I would say most people need to prepare if they're going to do it with no audience. Within 6 months, if you've made $1,000, I think that I tell people, be prepared to have this be like your college. This is your 6 months of blood, sweat, and tears, some wasted money on experimentation, wasted time. And just know that most people don't make it work because they give up too early. I 1000% believe that everyone can make it work and could replace a good full-time job with affiliate marketing if they never give up, but most people give up. So it really is if you stay the course, it works. To say how much you can make in 6 months, it depends. There's a lot of people I think that are already sitting on opportunities where they already are like, oh, I forgot that I have this 10,000 person group for bird watchers, and I've just never even known what affiliate marketing is. And I go, hey, I could promote a product for bird houses. And next thing you know, they're making money. And there's a lot of people that are already sitting on that really great base for affiliate marketing sales. So those people could get going right away. If you have no audience and you're just, totally fresh, I would say don't start unless you're willing to go 6 months without making hardly anything. You should start to see some conversions within 6 months. And if you haven't, it might be time to kind of adjust and adapt. But just having in the back of your mind, knowing that if you don't give up, it will work. I think that's a mindset that you kind of have to have, or it's going to be very easy to quit. It's going to be very easy to say, oh, the only people that make money in affiliate marketing are the people who teach how to make money in affiliate marketing. And it's not that simple. There's an audience for every single space. If you have an audience, you can make money in affiliate marketing.
In your book, Evergreen Affiliate Marketing, is it, because I've not been able to read it, but is it like,
I'll send you a copy.
Is there a blueprint, like follow these steps? Is that in that book, or is not what the intention of the book is?
So the idea of the book, when I go on Amazon to look for affiliate marketing books, obviously when you write a book, I think you should read all of the top books on the topic first. Which I have, and I do. And one of the things that I find is that most of the stuff in there is not going to be relevant in like a year, or it's a bunch of clickbait, over promises, which I get. As a copywriter, I'm like, I see why that title is probably more intriguing than my title. But for what I'm doing in my book is I want it to be a book that in 20 years, I don't have to come to your house and scratch out stuff that doesn't work anymore. So it's mostly there's tactics that will work forever, but I tried to make it evergreen in the sense that this is the stuff that will work regardless of the social media, what's going on in the world of social media platforms, what's going on in the world of GDPR, all the different rules and stuff that are coming in. It's kind of teaching the foundational stuff. So I do go over, finding great affiliate programs, understanding basically a strategy of what I call having a Cornerstone affiliate product, a bunch of anything that I think is evergreen that's going to last. And then anything that's not covered there, I teach in the book how to go about learning it. I call it just-in-time learning, like the inventory JIT that you learn in business school. It's like that, but for education. So there's a bunch of different things. Like just this week, I'm learning about running ads on TikTok. I didn't know how to run ads on TikTok until this week. And I just wrote a book on affiliate marketing. That stuff will always be there. So my book is not something, it's different than the other books on the market in that it's not full of big promises, and it's not full of like, this is what you need to do today to go out and make, this amount of money with this specific strategy that will be gone. So it's made to last is my goal with the book.
I don't want to spoil the book, so feel free to say, no, you know what, just have someone read the book.
Oh no, for sure. We can talk about anything.
Okay, so Cornerstone, starting with a Cornerstone product. What do you mean? What does that mean? And what is yours? Can you share that?
Yeah. So with it depends what the niche is, but it should be something that ideally is something that everyone in your audience could benefit from. So on EntreResource, the Cornerstone products that I promote for people that are getting into marketing, it would be hosting, because you literally can't do affiliate marketing without a website. And there's a bunch of different hosts, and there's one host that I think is just amazing. And for me to not promote it, it would be a disservice to my readers, because why would I not promote the thing that is most important? I think, because you have to have it. Everybody that is going to be serious about, being in it will have to have hosting at some point. So hosting is a good example of one. With my Amazon content, I my main product there is tactical arbitrage. I think that is just a broad tool that does so much for product sourcing. I think is really critical for people to at least try. You don't need it per se, but it's something that I think everyone should at least try. So that's kind of my Cornerstone product for the Amazon space. And with the Cornerstone product, the goal is to make it something that's going to have high conversions, because you'll find that like there's an affiliate program for almost anything that you use, but most of them won't convert. And sometimes it's hard to even say why. I've promoted things. I'm like, why does no one want that? Like, I love this. What am I doing wrong that it's not convincing other people? And I'm like, it's just, for some reason, it's not a good fit. But then other products, I'm like, you could just put a link, click here to buy, and everybody buys it. So your Cornerstone product should be something like that, something that sells really easily. And then with it, the goal is to get as many impressions on it as possible. So that might mean putting it at the bottom of all of your emails saying, our favorite tool is blah, 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 blah. And then getting them to see it. Because in marketing, we have what we call the rule of 7, which is an old rule. And it's much more like the rule of probably 20 now. It basically says that to make a sale, you have to show somebody your product like at least 7 times. And like I said, I think it's more like 20 now. So one of the things that people do is they'll be like, oh, here's this product, and nobody buys. They go, oh, nobody wanted it. It's like, it's usually not that. It's usually that they didn't have enough touch points. There's so many reasons why somebody wouldn't buy right then. They might not have had their credit card. They might have been on mobile. They might have been waiting to get paid. They might have wanted to check out a couple other options. So that's something that you do too with your Cornerstone product, is you put it front and center. You put it all over your website, like as a sidebar. And you just feel good about promoting it because it's such an easy sale, because it's so important and relevant and valuable. I have had one site that was selling, it was plans for woodworking, and there was a product that was just blueprints for woodworking projects. Super easy sale, because everybody that was on the site was perfectly in that market. The plans were awesome. Conversion rates were high. Refund rates were almost, negligible. So that type of thing, you don't need to spend a bunch of time promoting all this other stuff if you have a Cornerstone product, because it's not more is not more in affiliate marketing. I think a lot of people think I'm gonna find 50 products and spray and pray and show every product one time, and then people will buy. And that's just really not how it works. If you have 50 products, and you'll probably end up with at least half of them making 0 sales, regardless of the size of your audience. And then you're surely familiar with the 80-20 principle. You're going to see that about 20% of the products you promote make up about 80% of all of the sales. And those 20% will usually be your Cornerstone products. So that's an important part of the book. There's a couple of chapters that I'm like, if you just read these chapters. I know, unfortunately, I think I read that like 65% of nonfiction books don't even get opened. So something insane like that. So I do in the book, I'm like, if you're only going to read a couple chapters, I want you to read everything. But there's a couple chapters that are super important. And one of those is the Cornerstone affiliate product.
Is the term Cornerstone affiliate product something you came up with, or is it something you learned from somewhere else and sort of built on it?
I'm gonna say that I came up with it, but I'm also a huge believer in there's really nothing original. I think that I probably subconsciously put together from a couple of different things. Just the idea of having a cornerstone product in your business in general, I think is common, but in affiliate marketing, it's not really talked about. Even though most of the successful affiliate marketers do it. So I noticed that most of the successful affiliate marketers were doing it and nobody was really talking about it. Do you listen to Marketing School with
Neil Patel and Eric Sue?
What have you noticed? What have you noticed though about their plugs? It's always DreamHost. They do. Yeah. And I was thinking like, this is so smart because they get it. They understand not to backtrack too much, but that's their cornerstone product for that podcast. And I guarantee you that the conversions are stupid high. Everybody needs hosting. Again, like I said, one of my cornerstone products for if I'm doing just a general entrepreneur post for internet entrepreneurs is hosting because everybody needs hosting. So I get a little mildly annoyed because I don't use DreamHost, but if I didn't have a host I loved, I would look into it. But it's mildly annoying when you don't have it, but they've probably sold so many people who had heard it 50 times. And then on the 51st time they bought it. And that's genius. I guarantee you that the lifetime value is way higher too. That's another thing you kind of want to consider. What is the LTV of this product? And if you can find that cornerstone product, or just you can even spy on people in your space, like what is their cornerstone product? It's probably converting way higher than others. It's an anomaly. It's crazy how some things just convert so much better. And I guarantee you that DreamHost converts. They probably make $1 million a year easily on DreamHost.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So I think even Pat Flynn, he had a Smart Passive Income. I don't know if you.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got one too, and I think one of his cornerstone products was a hosting service at one point.
Bluehost.
Okay. So yeah, my thing is this specifically with that is in your case, I understand it because it's your blog, right? And that's your main channel because you referenced video and TikTok, and so your workhorse is your blog, right? People get into your blog, they trust you, they like you, they expect this from you. And they convert with your affiliate links. So I understand how that works. With Marketing School, I've thought about it and I'm like, wow, they must make a killing off this. Because to me, half the time I don't even know what my host is, which is a whole other story. And I'm like, they must be making a killing off of this. So my marketing mind is listening to how they're delivering it.
Yeah, they hardly even change the ad too. Like I think,
but they don't really reference like go to this site /marketing school. So how is that structured in a different way? Like, is it, is their host DreamHost saying, hey, we're just going to pay you this flat rate per month? How is that found?
I thought that they say go to dreamhost.com/marketing school, but I might be wrong. Either that or they get paid per plug, which, I mean, that's the thing which is not a dumb way to go. If you know that like, okay, so when we promote it, we make X, and if they just pay us X guaranteed, you take, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Sometimes they might take a little bit less, but it's still surely massive. I thought that most podcasters should always have that coupon code because it's the only way to really track, because people don't click on podcast links like they do on blogs and YouTube and all that.
Yeah, they may have done both. I just remember the last time I was listening, they didn't reference a website, and I was looking at it as a podcast host. I'm like, well, if I do this, I thought because when you hear them talk about stuff, a lot of the times I've learned so much from them. I'm like, well, that's the gold standard. Like you forget that they may be sloppy. They may make mistakes sometimes, but I imagine that you'd go to wizardsofecom.com / and then it would be that deal or that brand. Okay. What about, can you share anything on that? Like a host, like what could somebody expect to make off that? And I don't want to like put you in a corner on numbers, but I'm curious. And I know people listening to this are like, okay, at 6 months, you're lucky if you made $1,000, a couple years or many years in, you're putting the host that you love. I think that's important, not the one that just is willing to pay you the most, but the one that you love out there. And what could you expect to make from that?
So the beauty of the hosting affiliate programs is they pay really, really well. I believe Bluehost was like $60. WPX, the one I promote, varies. Depends on the plan that people buy, but it averages close to that across the plans. Really, what I think people should do is message the affiliate if they don't have the information available. Message them and say, hey, what are the average conversion rates? And they'll usually give you a pretty honest answer. Keep in mind that the average conversion rates are considering people like the best affiliate marketers, and then it's also considering the worst affiliate marketers. But the best affiliate marketers are going to kind of skew the conversion rates to make it seem a little bit higher. So I would say take the number they give you, cut it in half just to play safe. Cut it in half, and then think about how many impressions you need to get, and then how many clicks you need to get, and then you can kind of start calculating all of that, and you can actually see how much you'd earn. People like Pat Flynn, I think you can go to his website if you really want to see actual numbers. I don't want to share my actual numbers. I tried to avoid that in the book. The chapter I had to share about you have to introduce yourself and explain why anyone should listen to you. And part of that is explaining if you've made money or not. But if you go to Pat Flynn's website, smartpassiveincome.com, I think he still does his earnings report. He might have stopped, but I think that there's an archive of old stuff. And he was making tons and tons of money every month on Blue.
How about this? Can we word it another way and see if you feel better with this? What's the average lifetime value on somebody that grabs a host, like, and they're like, I love what he's saying. I've purchased 4 things from him in the past, and he's never steered me wrong. Let me switch hosts.
So anybody that buys anything from you is going to be your best customer going forward. Anybody that buys hosting from me is, especially WPX hosting, which is not the cheapest host. It's not expensive by any means compared to some of like the WP engines and stuff that I used to use. But anybody that buys WPX is definitely serious. They've kind of pulled themselves out of the crowd and have really identified themselves as someone who's serious. And I want to write content to everybody. I want to write content to people who are going to be gone tomorrow. I want to write content to people that are going to be more successful with affiliate marketing than me next week. But the people that buy are going to be much better customers. That's why the Cornerstone affiliate product should be something that makes you look really good, because they're going to buy from you again if it does. So somebody that buys WPX hosting, it's hard because you can't, with affiliate marketing, one of the things that we all have to deal with is the tracking limitations. So I can't necessarily see like this person bought this and then see what else they bought, because everyone runs different affiliate programs and there's just not that cross-platform tracking that we would like to see. So that's one of the few downfalls of affiliate, not downfalls, but one of the few drawbacks. But I would say at least 10x the value of someone who buys WPX is going to be worth probably 10 times more than the average customer. Because if somebody buys hosting, they're in. They're into the process. They're not window watching. They're ready to go. And then if they buy that, there's at least 3 other things that are very in line. Like my next things that I would recommend would be the theme that I use, Thrive Themes. Another affordable option that is what I actually use on my site. And I don't. There's other good options for host or for your WordPress theme, but it's all that I want to use. It's all that I want my readers to use because most of my content is based around it. And then ConvertKit for email marketing is something that I think that you have to have email marketing as part of your strategy if you do any sort of content marketing. So those 3 things are just, I love to sell them because they are things that you need. And they're the best of the ones I've tested, and they're obviously not things I'm promoting because they pay the most. I think that you actually end up making more in the long run when you promote things that are not, when it's obvious that you're not just promoting it because it's paying you the most. When it's actually truly serving people the best. And ConvertKit is that way. It's very user friendly. The deliverability is high. It's affordable, relatively speaking. So yeah, I might have ran off course a little bit with the original question, but that's kind of how my flow is. I want to, if they buy WPX, they're going to be worth way more as a customer in the long run, and they'll be more likely to buy other stuff. So if you can sell that Cornerstone product early, it's going to dramatically increase the chances of them buying from you again in the future. There's something that happens. There's something that happens psychologically when we exchange money with people, even if it's just like $1. You start to, you're associated with them, and it's harder. It's harder to, it's just easier to trust them after you've trusted somebody one time, because you kind of identify with them because it's a reflection of your choice. So if I bought, which is why there's a lot of people that sell really high end programs that aren't really that great, but they don't get as much negative feedback as you'd expect, because the people that didn't refund, they're kind of attached to that. They don't want to really say like, oh, I wasted $5,000. It's hard. I mean, it's an identity thing. And that happens when I buy anything from somebody. My next thought is that it's going to be harder for me to change my opinion of them. That's just basic, human psychology. So there's a lot to be said about that. And I think with the Cornerstone product, when someone buys it from you, they start to really identify with you more.
I wish there was a chart that could show, basically, I don't even know if this is like a good thing to say, but like, I wonder if there's a chart that could show, I easily have about 20 tools, and 20 tools and maybe 35, 40 purchases that were directly made from something I discovered in your blogs over time. And then I'm the type of person that's like, so I'm the type of person that's like, oh, I really like that content. And that got me going. And I might spend weeks or months thinking of the thing and whether I'm going to do it or not. But when I go to buy, for me, it's more of a, man, let me get this. This is a way to show thank you, like using this person's, code or whatever. Like, I'm like that. So I wish there was a way to track that and even use me as a sort of like, hey, this is what affiliate marketing can do. Because it's easily that many purchases.
I really appreciate that, by the way. But yeah, that's really how it is. There are certain people that will email me that I know that like they've just been around since I started, and there's for the most part, no matter how great your stuff is or how well you do it, most people are not going to stick around. Most people aren't going to buy. I mean, conversion rates, once you even get somebody to a page, if the conversion rates are just is what it is. We go to a lot more things that sell stuff than we actually pull out our credit cards. So when you can start to get kind of that, have you read 1,000 True Fans? That short, it's a short essay. It's really great. Basically the concept is that you can have a kind of like a next level income just by having 1,000 people who love what you do. And that would be like, if you wrote a book, they would buy the audiobook, the book, they'd also buy the hardback cover, they'd buy, they'd tell everybody that they bought it, that type of thing. And if you have a list of 100,000 people and you can just turn 1,000 of them into that diehard fan, you can make a killing. And that's part of the reason why I was saying early on with like how people like you are able to make sales, even though your reach might not be 100,000 people. But the reach that you do have is very strong and very personal and built on a lot of trust with customers who have already, invested even just a small amount on anything, your recurring group, and a small audience like that is going to be worth way more than a random audience of people that don't really, that aren't as well defined, and there's not as much trust built up.
Well said. I like how you're making it very like relationship too. Like earlier you said something about, it's easier for somebody when they buy from you. My description of that's always been sort of like, yeah, when they spend $1 with you, objects in motion stay in motion. But
exactly.
I like to say I'm a person, like a personable person as well, but I was defining it more as objects, and you're constantly bringing it back to people, relationships, and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's one topic in my book that I really cover, and I think a lot of other affiliate marketers in the space might see it like, oh, he's exaggerating how important it is. And honestly, in some ways, maybe I am. But part of the reason why is because I don't want to, I'm going to sound like I'm virtue signaling here, and I apologize, but I don't want to make a bunch of money and I don't want to feel good. I want to feel good about what I'm doing first. If I can't feel good about it, I'll stop doing it. I truly believe that. And I do truly believe that you can make more by doing it ethically and the right way. It's just harder. There are people that make money in affiliate marketing, and they're not going to follow the ethics chapters that I talk about. I wrote in the book that if that's you, I don't want you to read the rest of this book because I don't want to be any part of that. I think that the industry already gets a really bad reputation for people like that. And it is something that it's a long-term investment. It's harder to build relationships. I mean, anybody, it's just like a marriage. Like, me and my wife have been together we've been married for a decade, and it's still a relationship that we have to build every day. I can't just turn into a jerk one day and expect the marriage to be the same. And that's kind of how affiliate marketing is. Like if I cheat on my audience by promoting something that's just money grab, I expect to lose their trust, and I expect to lose their future business. There are people that just go with, they'll run ads, like native ads, where they don't have to show their face. They don't have to really own up to mistakes or, unethical things. And I think everybody accidentally does some things every once in a while when they put money first over people. But I think that the best marketers are the ones who remain cognizant of that and have the self-awareness and desire to do it the right way. I think there's a lot of people in the entrepreneur space who are more about money first. Whatever else happens. It'd be cool if I can do it ethically, but whatever. If I make a bunch of money, it's fine. And I think the more money you make, the more difficult it is. But there's like catch-22, and I talk about it in the book, is that the more money you make, you should be wanting to deliver to your audience even more, because they're the ones that have helped you build this awesome lifestyle, this awesome income, and you owe them in a way that they've helped you do that.
How do you deliver more though?
Like for me, like I start to look at the content I'm making. I try to be mindful of, am I just writing stuff that's focused on my sales? Am I writing emails? Am I doing enough in my email newsletters that's value first? Recently, this year, I started doing my weekly reads roundup, where I send content. Some of it's content I wrote, some of it's content that I just got from other people, and then I put a sponsored thing at the bottom, just so I can, just something relevant. And I do that, and my goal is I want them to be entertained and interested and have the best content. And I can't write 5 blog posts that are amazing every week, but I can find 5. And if I can share that with them, that's helping them. That's building the relationship. It's kind of stuff like that I think people overlook. They're only sharing their content. They're only sharing stuff if it has some sort of kickback involved at the end. It's very, very conversional first, and everything else kind of second. And there's obviously, you got to pay the bills. There's time and place, and you can't be afraid to sell, but you also have to be kind of afraid to become an overseller. For me, it's a balance. You have to, really want to provide value and really want to earn the money that you make. Again, it sounds a lot like virtue signaling, but I really do truly believe that. And I think it actually does pay off in the long run, even if your goal is not altruism. If you just, if it was altruistic, I would not sell anything, or I'd not use affiliate links, or I'd donate all the money somewhere. But if even if your goal is just to make money, I think that it's still the best way in the long run is to just do it the right way, provide a ton of value, because people notice.
Oh yeah, definitely they notice. A few days ago, I kind of want to get to the mechanics on this, and I'm assuming that it's an affiliate. Saying it's an affiliate play sounds dirty, but like assuming that this is an affiliate play here, I want to understand like what was going on like behind the Nate curtain here. But a couple days ago, I think maybe on the 4th of July, I read either a blog or an email of yours that had to do with a book that I've easily read 10 times. I have copies everywhere, called 48 Laws of Power. And I saw it, and there was an Amazon link and there's a Blinkist link. So my marketing mind's like, oh, an affiliate thing if I want to buy this, which I'm cool with. And then I looked at the email, and the email looked, not stealing anything, it looked pretty straightforward to build. Like it didn't look like it took a lot there. But I ran out and bought a copy of 48 Laws of Power, and now I'm going to do a contest because of it with my group, so they can get a copy of this book. It reminded me what went on there. Like,
so actually that was a blog post that I put together in about an hour. And which is the shortest amount of time that it takes me to write a blog post. And what I was thinking is, I was like, hey, this is a cool book. Some of the stuff in it's a little meh. Some of the methods I'm like, oh, that's kind of gross. I don't like that. But I was like, what's valuable is just having a list of not even describing them, because that would have taken me a long time. Maybe I'll go back in at some point and do that. But I was just like, hey, if I just make a list of the 48 Laws of Power, there's value in that, because I think a lot of people just want to see it. And then also by leaving it open-ended where I don't actually explain it, people might want to actually buy it. I'm not going to make hardly anything. Blinkist is close to a Cornerstone product for me, because I think everyone that's in my space can benefit from continually reading. And also I don't know if you've followed, but I think that a lot of books are too fluffy. Like they don't deliver on the substance. They feel like they have to hit a certain number of pages. So Blinkist is if anyone's not familiar, Blinkist is this tool that lets you basically get the summaries of books really quickly. It's not perfect, but it's a nice supplement. Or if you're just want to kind of plow through some ideas, that's something that I use. So I recommended that in there. And then I recommended the actual book. And the Amazon affiliate program is really weak. Like I hardly make, you'd be disturbed at how little I make on the Amazon associate program. But with that, I knew that also I did some keyword research. I knew people were looking for that. So, and it wasn't really being answered. So I just whipped it up in about an hour, super easy. And for me, I was like, if people buy Blinkist, cool. If not, I think it's going to get some organic visits, so get people to the site. And it was really easy to make. I think a lot of people overthink, where the value is. If I can make 4 posts like that each provide value, that's solid. That's a win. And there's always low hanging things like that. Like one of my most popular blog posts is Think and Grow Rich free PDF. And it's just a link to the free PDF. It's a public domain book. Really did very little there, except for I just got the link for them and I put it in there, and it gets like a couple thousand visits a month, which gets people to my site. And then some of those people will click to other pages. If not, that's fine too. It's just stuff like that. Just like little opportunities for value are all over the place. So instead of me writing, the blog post, the ultimate guide to making money online, which I would, it'd take my lifetime to rank for, I do little stuff like that. Kind of quick injections of short little, amounts of value.
Evergreen affiliate marketing comes out at the end of the month. Do you know the price yet? Have you figured that out? Like, what's it going to cost?
Yeah, it's going to be $14.99.
So $14.99, and it's going to be a blueprint or like how to get started immediately, realistically, ethically with Evergreen affiliate marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a combination. The book took me about 5 years worth of learning to do. I think you kind of earn a book So as much as I would have loved to have written the book early on, I think we talked about at the beginning of the show, the Dunning-Kruger effect. I think it would have been a lot of that. At this point, I don't know everything there is to know about advertising, marketing, affiliate marketing, psychology, but I know enough that I know that people would like to emulate the results that I've gotten. And everything that I know to be true is in the book. Anything I wasn't totally sure of, I just didn't include. Stuff that I'm not totally sure of, I'll write about them. I'll write about them on my blog or on Medium. But I'll be in there like, not 100% sure about this, to be honest. But with Evergreen affiliate marketing, it's the stuff I'm sure of. It's the stuff that lasts. There are some tactics, the things that you can do immediately that you can implement. And I write in the book that if you find those things, to go put the book down and go actually do them. I'm a huge believer in books are supposed to lead to action, and reading the book it's a lesser value action than actually implementing things. So put the book down, go implement it, come back the rest after you've taken the action, so you don't forget. But yeah, so the book is the book is entirely the things that will be relevant in affiliate marketing forever, regardless of what happens. And it's an exciting time to be an affiliate marketer with all of the restrictions that are going on with tracking and privacy. Affiliate marketing and having organic traffic, having your own audience is only going to be more and more valuable. People are going to lean on their affiliate programs more because their targeting is not going to be as good for their paid ads. So whenever one source of traffic and conversions goes down, everything else is going to have to go up. So it's not like it's not getting more difficult for us. It's getting easier. And we're kind of at a crossroads where we're not going to go backwards in terms of privacy. We're only going to become more. And personally, for me, I think it's overblown because I like when people can target me well. I don't want ads for, like I'm not a pregnant woman. I don't need to see ads for a pregnant woman pillow. I would like to see ads. Like I get ads, for baseball stuff, like after I've been looking at baseball stuff. But I think going forward, if you can build organic traffic, be it on YouTube or search engines like Google, the world is your oyster, and people are going to, even like we talked about with like Neil Patel, when maybe DreamHost is paying for those plugs, people are going to be buying ad space. Display ads costs are going to go up, which means website owners are going to make more money. Like I said, when one thing goes down and paid ads are going to continue to go down, everything else rises a little bit, and it's going to be that way with affiliate marketing, I think, forever. It's an exciting time to be an affiliate marketer.
Nate, thank you for sharing all this. Thank you for putting it all in a cheap $15 format, like condensing all the good stuff over the last 5 years and letting everyone get a hold of it. I'm sure a lot of listeners to this and my group, I'll definitely be grabbing a copy. I want to be respectful of your time though. Here, I feel like the questions would never end on this subject. So what is a great way for people to get a hold of you? And also when the link comes out, I'm going to go back and I'm going to include a link in the show notes of this episode to the book on Amazon, maybe an affiliate link, by the way. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
How can people get a hold of you?
So, my random blogs probably don't mean anything to anybody. So if you want to check out my actual internet business related stuff, check out EntreResource.com. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Nate McAllister or EntreResource. But really EntreResource.com, join the mailing list. I'm at the point now where I can still reply to all emails. So if you join my newsletter and shoot me a reply, I will reply to it personally. Not big time enough to ignore those. So I actually appreciate getting direct contact from people. But yeah, that's pretty much the easiest way to get a hold of me, the website.
Sweet. And like I ask everyone on the show, really curious to see what this book's going to be, but, what is your favorite book and why?
So my favorite book, and I was going to say 80-20 sales and marketing if we were going to just do marketing, but it's a great book. put that on the back burner. The best book for anybody, literally anybody that breathes air, drinks water, eats food, Atomic Habits by James Clear is just absolutely game-changing. The best book I think I've ever read. It's popular. A lot of people, I wish I had a more niche book that was a little smaller, but there's a reason it's so popular. It's just absolute game-changing book. It's the type of book where I would say read that book 5 times before you went out and bought another productivity book. There's so many books on the topic, but just the idea of creating habits, especially and it's completely relevant, like I said, to anything. It's been 1,000% relevant for me in content marketing, creating habits, finding ways to make sure that I stick to my goals. Just an absolute game-changing book that I think they should have to read it in school. It's that powerful.
Full version or Blinkist?
Full version, and the audiobook.
I did the audiobook. It's a phenomenal book.
The book itself is great too. It's got a lot of diagrams. I kind of copied his style of the diagrams he has in my book. I drew them all myself, and I like
modeled.
Yeah. There's a whole chapter in there about emulating other people and how to be original without straight up stealing from people. But yeah, if he saw my stuff, he'd be aware of it. I love his style. But amazing book. I read it multiple times. I think that, yeah, it's just important for everybody.
Yeah, there was a book, I believe this person's a friend of yours, and I believe he's also an affiliate marketer, Chris Green. And he had a book out there. It was this short little book, a tiny little thing. The name's escaping me, but in the book, there was a saying in there, and it said that if you took something from one person, that's theft. But if you took it from thousands of people, it's research or something like that. But 100%. There's a full chapter on that in my book. Love it.
Yeah.
Nate, huge thank you for coming on the show. I look forward to having you come back on once the book is released. Several topics I'd love to unpack with you on the show and learn what makes your mind tick in regards to them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really appreciate you having me on.
Sweet. Well, I'll let you get back on with your day. It's we're recording this July 5th. It's I feel like a weird day. I felt like the holiday was over, and I just realized nobody is working today.
Yeah, I'm doing a half day. This is pretty much my day.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you making your day, and I'll talk to everybody else next week.
All right, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
It was fun sharing this episode with you. If you found value in what you've heard, please show your love with a subscribe, rate, and review of the show. Until next time.